What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? It's your girl John, and let's talk about the gay alphabet and the gay divide, right? So, as you all know, there's I don't even know how many letters at this point we have behind the LGBT, right? First it was LGB, and all of the letters came out after that, right? And so I want to talk about that and first kind of break down what each of the letters are, and then go into the now divide that people are discussing, right? Y'all ready? Let's go. Now, here's the alphabet. And I'm sure there's more letters than this, right? But this is the gist of it. Now, the first, you have the L, which is lesbian, right? And we all know what lesbians are. Lesbians are biological women who love, date, marry, have sex with other biological women, right? Simple. G, gay, all right? Now, at one point, G or gay was everybody. Everybody was considered lesbian before the dichotomization of the different types of sexual orientation, right? But as of right now, the gays have divided themselves or is described as men, gay men, all right, who love, date, what have you, other gay men, right? And that is biological gay men who love, sex, marry biological gay men. Right. Then you have bisexual. Now the bisexuals, uh, they are attracted to both. They're attracted to men. They're attracted to women. Right now, typically, for the for the sake of this breakdown, bisexuals are attracted to biological men and biological women. Right, and it's important, words, labels, names, titles are important. I believe that they're important because it explains to a person, especially those on the outside, and even those within the community, what is what, who is who, right? Okay. Now, then you have the T, which is the transgender, all right? And so those are people who, like, say, a biological woman transgenders into a man or the appearance of a man, because we know, no shade to anyone, that biology doesn't change, but they transition to live their lives as a man, and a biological man transitions their life into living as a woman. All right. Now the Q, in here it has Q or questioning, right? In the questioning, okay, we know what question is. You're not really certain where you're at. You're not really holding on to a title. I had a client friend of mine who, just in conversation, because I had really good conversations with my clients, told me that she was in a full blown relationship with a woman, but didn't consider herself a lesbian. And come to find out, it was her first lesbian relationship and last lesbian relationship. But she didn't consider herself as a lesbian, nor did she consider herself as a bisexual, right? And so she would fall into the category of queer. The queers are more open, more fluid. They may go in between one or the other, right? Now, At the end of the day, you gay or you not gay. That's really what it is. But for the sake of this color code here, we're gonna break it down like that. So the queers, they may date women, but not consider themselves a lesbian, right? They're typically open to everyone, right? Uh, or they're the most fluid, I would say, within the alphabet, right? Then you have the intersex, right? And along with the T, I don't understand why the intersex are here, right? And I say that respectfully, right? The lesbians is who they're sexually attracted to. The gays are who they're sexually attracted to. The bisexuals are who they're sexually attracted to. The transgenders are how they live their lives, right? The queers are who they're sexually attracted to. The intersex, and for those who don't know what intersex is those that were born with both parts. Back in the day, they were called hermaphrodites. They're born with both uh, male and female genitalia, and they may have chromosomes typically different than the XX and the XY. They may have different chromosomes or a different mixture of those chromosomes, right? And so that their genitalia has nothing to do with who they're sexually attracted to. And so, just like with the transgenders, they're how they identify. It has nothing to do with who they're sexually attracted to. Okay. All right. So the A's, to me, okay. So the A's are, well, on this diagram it says asexuals or the allies. Okay. So the allies are those who are, who rally for everybody that's listed in this alphabet. Originally, A is for the asexuals, and the asexuals are those who don't have any sexual desire. And I know a lot of people don't understand people not having a sexual desire. And I'm sure that some people's like, well, everybody has a sexual desire. Nope, everybody doesn't have a sexual desire, right? Everybody doesn't have a desire. Everybody is different. Humans are not a monolith, and we should be respected as such, as our own, each individual person. And so the asexuals do not have a sex drive or very, very, very little sex drive, right? And if the gay alphabet is who you like having sex with, and you don't like having sex, the lines is kind of blurred, because it's like, do you want to be represented? I mean, maybe they do. I don't know, especially the young generation. And mind you, all these types of people have existed before this alphabet was created. And it's like now everybody wants to be represented. But I wonder, I don't know. I don't know. It's just, like I said, nothing is new up under the sun. It's just now widely broadcast. And I just wonder, like, if the intersex, it's nice to have the knowledge and the information behind it, so people do know that you have people that have both genitalia, both sex organs, or what have you. I don't know. I just, I'm thinking, if I was an intersex, would I want it? To me, it kind of feels like exploiting, but maybe not. I don't know. I'm not an intersex. I don't know. But as far as the asexuals, they don't have a sexual desire. So there's that. And I guess that's good when you're trying to connect with other people who don't have a sexual desire, because I couldn't imagine being compatible with someone who has a sexual desire, which would be everyone prior to that, the A. Like, why would you connect with someone and you have a sexual desire with someone who don't have a sexual desire? So I guess therefore, meeting someone you're compatible with All right. And then the plus. Now, here it says pansexual, right? And the pansexuals are those who will date and open to dating anyone, right? Similar to the queers, right? The queers are typically open to dating anyone. The pansexuals, for the lack of this particular explanation, are open to date everybody that's in the alphabet, right? So I guess they would kind of fit into, if they are bisexual, they would date an asexual, but basically that they're just open to anyone. They don't care about the gender. They don't care about the genitalia. They don't care about, they're just open. And a lot of them are also like demisexual, is the ones that, let me think now. The demisexuals are the ones they have to have a mental connection to be sexual. Now, let me pause for a second because some people think that the P is for the pedophile, right? And just to put a disclosure in there, the pedophiles, that they like to be known as MAPs, minor attracted people, have been trying to infiltrate the gay alphabet for a minute. They've tried to find their place in there, and as of right now, which is 2025, the gay alphabet has resisted that because that is some bullshit. Like, that's all it is to it. Children don't belong in the alphabet. And to try to make your place as a grown Mickey Ficky adult attracted to children, that's unacceptable. So the P does not stand for the pedophile, it stands for pansexual. And that is adults who are attracted to other adults regardless of how they present. Right? So with that, a lot of people are separating from considering themselves part of the community. And if you see my video about pride, a lot of the stuff that I mentioned on the pride video is one of the reasons why a lot of people who are in this rainbow letter salad is separated, because it's kind of morphed into something that it wasn't supposed to morph into. So with that, this is what the gay divide looks like, right? And really, if you really want to get into it, all of the letters, especially the L, G, and the B, wants to separate and be their own thing. And I personally think that that's fine, because we're each individuals. Our journeys are different, our paths are different, our goals are different, and should be respected as such. And what has tended to happen is that the lines are being blurred together. And the ones who are attracted to particular individuals, the lesbian, the gays, and the bisexuals, the lines are being blurred in with the plight and the path and the journey and the goals of the T's, right? And even though, because one, in my opinion, the T's don't belong in the alphabet, because the T isn't about who they're attracted to. And my thing is that, okay, if you're a T and you transition over, then you are what you transition into. And most T's didn't want to stand out. Like, again, there's nothing new up under the sun. And so, do you want to be recognized as a regular person, or do you want to be recognized as something different? And, I'm an older lesbian. So, back in the day, the T's just wanted to fit in, not be recognized as a T. So, as a T, you don't fit into the alphabet because that's how you recognize. That would just be like adding, well, not really, but as far as the sake of this conversation, adding an R for redhead. Well, that has nothing to do with who you're sexually attracted to. You're a redhead. You know what I mean? So, with that, there's a divide between the alphabet. But even within that, there's a divide between the lesbians, the gays, and the bisexuals. Now, I think the bisexuals will still fit into the lesbian section and the gay section, like because you got men and women that are bisexual, so they're going to fit in. But the divide between the TQ plus, there's a divide. There's a difference of paths and journeys and stuff like that. So, and like I said, there's a lot of people that have separated themselves from the alphabet altogether. Like I still claim the L for lesbian because I want it to be known that I am a biological woman who only dates biological women, and I'm not a bisexual woman, and that is, you know, my attraction. There's no shade, no harm, no foul to anyone else, right? Now, unfortunately, the T's are taking a hit because of the ones that I feel have, what's the word? They have infiltrated the T's journey. Like back in the day, T's, they did their journeys. You really didn't know that they did their journeys and they lived their lives. And now you have a group of people who actual T's are saying that they're not really real T's that have infiltrated that community, and it's making it look bad for all, like say the real ones who have the what is it, gender dysphoria, and it's more of a fashion statement or a status, or something along that line. And so I feel bad for the real T's, that you have those that are not real T's have infiltrated their movement, and it's making the T's look bad, which in turn makes the whole alphabet look bad because most of the straights don't understand. They lump everybody. They don't give a shit. The straights don't give a shit who, what, when, where, why, what. They just lump everybody in together, and I think that that's unfair, in my opinion. And I think that each alphabet needs to stand on their own because everybody has their own fight, their own journey, their own path, their own plight. And really, when you take a look at it, that's everybody is pretty much standing on their own anyway. The lesbians are rallying the lesbians, the gays are rallying the gays, the bisexuals are rallying the bisexuals, the T's, they're rallying everybody. So it's really not a inclusive alphabet like everybody wants it to be, to think, or everybody thinks. It's really everybody is standing for their own group, right? And it's probably the queers that's trying to keep everybody together. And as humans, we should respect each other's rights as to be our own individual humans. But at the same time, I think that we need to respect each other for our own individual path. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's basically it. You know what I mean? That's basically it. And even within the lesbian community, there's divides, right? Especially now that the studs, or well, actually, it's the masculine presenting bisexual women are now claiming the title stud. And so the real studs, which are masculine presenting lesbians, are mad. And so now you see that a lot of the lesbians are identifying as Butch, Dyke, Bull Dagger, because there has to be a distinguishing fact to where masculine lesbians don't take dick. Like the films, lesbian is lesbian, right? And there's like I don't understand how women or yeah, women don't understand that a stud is a masculine presenting lesbian. Like, but then they don't even understand the masculine presenting. Like, if you have a full lace front on, or you have the nails that you add on, you have makeup, you have now switched over into film, and they're just blurred. So it's just it's a mess. It really is. To be real honest, it is a mess. That's why I identify as a dyke, because dykes don't do dicks. Period. Like there is a sector of the lesbians who do not do dicks. And the lesbians, as well as a masculine presenting lesbian. Like I don't understand. The word lesbian is there, and it's a mess. It's the divide is bigger than just the LGBT slash TQ IAP whatever. It's just a hot mess. It really is. But you all let me know what you think about the whole gay alphabet, how it was then, how it is now, the different titles, the different, do they belong together? Do you still feel that everybody is one up under the gay umbrella, or do you think it should be divided out? It looks like it's going that way anyway, because nobody is really supporting each other. And I mean, it's like you support them in theory. You want everybody to be happy and safe and secure and have human rights and to live in their truth. But it shouldn't be at the detriment to another group. And you should have that pride to stand for whatever alphabet you stand for whatever group that you stand for. But again, I'm just an older lesbian with my 2 cents. You all let me know what you think. And I'll talk with you all in the next video. Salute, salute.